What is up, everybody? This is Newbie Army, back at it again with some Roblox Studio content. So, what have I been doing? Recently, I've been looking up on how to improve my thumbnails on Roblox videos, and I've learned how to import my character models from Roblox Studio to Blender. The only thing is, most of it is outdated. It dates back from 7 years to 5 years to 4 years, which is using the old Blender. The new Blender now has a new UI and a new HUD, and it is very confusing and very complex. So this tutorial is in regards to the updated Blender. So this is just the basics of basics, how to import it, where to find the things you need for importing your character. So first things first, what you're gonna need is the Roblox Studio. You're gonna need it for your character model. Next is the Blender. You're gonna need that to render your character into an image, and it is absolutely free. It is absolutely safe. I'll put it in the link on the description below so that you can easily download it. So as you can see, you're given a choice here, but personally I'm gonna take on base plate because it's clear and much faster to work on. So first things first, you're gonna want to enable your toolbox here on the home and the insert part, and then click on the toolbox on the lower left, and here you can add some models if you want to. But if you want to add your character models, I'll link a plugin below in the description. But before that, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Roblox content update. So now I'm gonna press on character loader. So we want my character to be uploaded. So first things first, we're gonna type our name. It should pop up, and then we're gonna have to check the spawn at origin. This is gonna be really useful when we're uploading it already at Blender. Press on spawn R6, and as you can see on the Explorer on the right side of the tab, your name should have popped up. We're gonna close this. So now we're gonna have to edit our models. So how are we gonna edit these models? So you have to get used with the Roblox Studio. You can drag around your screen with the right click and then move your camera in and out or left and right by WASD. So first thing first, if we want to move our model, we're gonna have to disable 5 things. Disable here: collisions, constraints, join surfaces, rotate, and move, so that when we're trying to configure our Roblox model, it will be smoother. So in your screen, it should look like this. We don't want that. We're gonna have to disable this. Now it's okay. Next thing now is we're gonna have to click on this arrow here so that we can configure each and every part. Zoom in a bit. And if we want to configure the left arm, let's try configuring this one. You're gonna have to press on it and then click on move or rotate or whatever you want. I want this to look, oops, okay, so I accidentally deleted that. Okay, now we're gonna have to move it a bit since we want to look at like jumping for joy. Next is rotate a bit, right arm, move, rotate this one, move, also the left leg and the right leg. We're gonna move it so that we're gonna bend it easier. Rotate it a bit here, that way it will look like that. The what is it, right leg, left leg, rotate it here. Okay, so now we're ready to import this into our Blender. So how are we gonna import this? First things first, we're gonna go to the Explorer here, right click on your character model, click on export selection, save it on the place you want to save it. Okay, so I'm gonna save it on a certain folder I've already prepared. So here I've already named it the blender model.obj. I'm gonna replace this, so save. So now we're ready to put it on Blender. How are we gonna do that? first things first, you're gonna have to open Blender. As soon as your Blender is open, this screen should pop up. You have a cube here. We don't want that cube. That cube is annoying. So we're gonna delete this. You can delete it by either right clicking it on it and then pressing on delete, or pressing on the delete button on the keyboard. So now we're gonna want to import the character model. So how are we gonna do that? Go to the upper left, go to import, and click on wavefront.obj. Now look for your folder. Mine should be here, and there should be two files. The first file should be blender model.mtl, and the next file should be blender model.obj. So press on blender model.obj and then click on import. So it should pop up. As you can see, it's already there. So if you want to move your screen on Blender, hold down on the middle mouse button. As you can see. Now, as you can see, it's already there, but it doesn't have the texture. How are we gonna enable the texture? It's gonna be easy. Go to your upper right. Here you should see some viewports. Find the viewport that says Material Preview. Press on it, and then in a few seconds, your texture should pop up. As you can see, mine's already here. So now we're gonna have to set up the camera. How are we gonna look at the camera? If you have the numpad on your keyboard, press on numpad O. So as you can see, this is the camera perspective as of the moment. We don't want that. We're gonna have to move this. So how are we gonna move this? We're gonna have to click on the camera. Wait, but for a bit. Zoom out for a bit. Click on the camera. On your upper left, there should be a transform button, which should enable the movement of the camera. Place it just somewhere near the camera, and just not near rather, but in front of your character model. Okay, I think that's a bit. Okay, we're gonna have to move it like right a bit there. So we're gonna spin this around so that at the very least it should be facing the camera, but it's not actually looking at your camera, at your player yet. So how are we gonna fix this? So as soon as you enable that one, press on O. So as you can see, we're still not looking at our player. Now you can press on G here to enable the panning. As soon as you enable this, you just move your mouse where you want to pan it. Click on it again, and then G again, and then enable it so that you're actually looking at the character. Okay, now that's the character model we want it to be looking. Next is we want the light. So at times when you render this, there'll be sort of a shadow. We don't want that. So what are we gonna do? We have the light here. You can either delete the light, or better, you can just move it. So you can move it by still on the same transform. Just move it in between the character model and the camera. For me personally, I like to put it where my character model is facing, or looking at rather. So now we're ready. So what's next? We're gonna have to enable some things on our way to rendering it. So on your lower right, this here there should be a render properties. If not, you should change this here. So you should have this option here to change the current editor type for this area. It should show as properties. Next is you're gonna move to render properties, and then click on that, go to film, and go to transparent. What does this do? So this changes the background of the image when you're rendering it as transparent, making it easier to place on thumbnails. Because if you don't click on it, it's gonna be white and you have to scale and crop some backgrounds or maybe some instances in your image, so it is better if you put it as transparent. Next is we're gonna have to move on to output properties. Here you're gonna have to place your dimensions for the image. So personally, I like it by 19 by 20 and 1080 at also 100% of the resolution. Next is I also like to place my file format on a PNG just because it is easier. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna render the image now since we're ready. So if you want to render the image, go to render in your upper left rather. You can click on render image or just press F12 for easier doing. And your image should pop up now. Wait for it a bit to render, and when it's ready, this should do it. So next is we're gonna have to save this one. In order to save this, we can press on Alt S or just go to image and then save. So that's how you do it. That's how you save it. So there's actually a much more advanced way of editing this one. Actually, I have not wandered off into this mode, but this is the edit mode where you can configure the bones or basically the shape of your character model. That way you can have bended knees or bended elbows. So how do we do this? This is actually a bit advanced and I have not delved into this. So how to do this, you're gonna have to press on your character model, then press on tab, which enables edit mode. Next is you're gonna have to right click on a certain area and then just press on subdivide. This should enable more bones or more points or joints for your shape to work on. So that is it for this tutorial, and hopefully you understand it and hopefully you like it. If you do have some suggestions or maybe some advanced way of doing this, do put it in the comment below so that I can work on it and maybe put it on a future update of this video. If you want future updates in regards to subdivides or joint editing, join my Discord below. I'll also link it. And that is all. See you next time. Ciao, boys.